In the beginning, God created the world. In just 6 days, he made the sun, the moon, the stars, the land and oceans, plants, animals, and finally, humans. He called everything good, but humans were special because they could talk with God, love, and make choices. In the very beginning, when the world was new, God made a beautiful garden called Eden. Here, God put Adam and Eve, the first two people, to take care of it. The garden was a perfect home, full of wonderful plants and animals, and Adam and Eve could eat the fruit from all the trees, except one. God told them not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. One day, while Eve was walking in the garden, a clever and sneaky serpent spoke to her. This wasn't an ordinary serpent because it could talk, and it was more cunning than any other animal God had made. The serpent asked Eve, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said, 'You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die.'" The serpent, wanting to trick Eve, said, "You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful and looked delicious, and she liked the idea of being wise like God. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. She also gave some to Adam, who also ate. As soon as they ate the fruit, something changed. They suddenly felt afraid and hid when they heard God walking in the garden. But God knew what had happened. He asked Adam and Eve about it, and they admitted eating the fruit, but blamed the serpent and each other. Because of what they did, God said things would be harder for them outside the garden. They would have to leave Eden, and life wouldn't be perfect anymore. But God also made them clothes from animal skins, showing he still cared for them. Jesus himself spoke about hell more than anyone else. He described it as a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth, where the fire never goes out. It's a place meant for the devil and his angels, but also for those who turn away from God and choose not to follow his path of love and righteousness. One of the names for hell that Jesus used is Gehenna. This was actually the name of a real place outside of Jerusalem, where trash was burned. The continuous fire and decay made it a powerful symbol of a place of punishment and separation from God. Jesus used stories to teach about the choices we make in life and their eternal consequences. He talked about a rich man who lived only for himself and ended up in hell, a place of torment after he died, unable to cross over to the comforting side where a poor man named Lazarus rested, in heaven. This story tells us the reality of hell and the importance of living a life of compassion for others. The Apostle Paul also warned about the consequences of rejecting God's love and choosing a path away from God's teachings, describing it as never-ending destruction, away from the presence of the Lord. In John's vision of the final judgment, the beast and Satan are thrown into hell, described as a lake of fire that represents the second death. This is not just physical death, but eternal separation from God, who is the source of all life, love, and happiness. God doesn't want anyone to choose a path that leads to hell. He wants everyone to come to repentance, which opens the doors to heaven, a place of eternal joy, peace, and the presence of God. Angels are special messengers from God. They show up at important times to deliver messages, provide guidance, or offer protection. Like when the angel Gabriel visited Mary to tell her she would have a special son named Jesus. There are many different angels, and not all look the same. Some angels almost look like ordinary people. Like when angels visited Abraham to tell him about his future son, Isaac, or when two angels went to help Lot in the city of Sodom, they looked like regular men. People could talk to them without realizing right away that they were talking to angels. But there are other angels who look extraordinary, far from normal human beings. Like in Daniel's vision, where he sees an angel who looks like a man dressed in linen with a belt of pure gold around his waist. His body was like a precious gem, his face like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like polished bronze. Or when John had a vision on the island of Patmos, where he saw an angel coming down from heaven, wrapped in a cloud, with a rainbow over his head. His face was like the sun, the seraphim, seen by the prophet Isaiah. It stood above the throne of God with 6 wings, 2 that covered their faces, 2 that covered their feet, and 2 with which they flew. And the cherubim, seen by the prophet Ezekiel, had 4 wings and many faces, a human face, a lion on the right side, an ox on the left side, and an eagle, making them look unlike anything on earth. Even though these angels might sound a bit scary, they often start their messages with, "Do not be afraid." They are not here to frighten people. They're here to bring good news, offer help or protection. Moses was called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egyptian slavery. He confronted Pharaoh with God's command, "Let my people go." God worked through Moses to bring about 10 plagues on Egypt, including turning the Nile River to blood, sending swarms of locusts, and the death of the firstborn in every Egyptian household. Moses parted the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape Pharaoh's army, and later received the 10 Commandments from God on Mount Sinai. Long after Moses, the Israelites forgot about God and started worshipping statues. So God sent Elijah to remind everyone of God's power. Elijah challenged the prophets of a false god named Baal. They sacrificed bulls on Mount Carmel, and Elijah called down fire from heaven to consume his sacrifice, proving God's power over the Baal prophets. During this time, it had not rained for 3 years, and everything was scorched and dry. But after Elijah's victory on Mount Carmel, he prayed, and rain fell from the sky, ending the drought. Elijah never died. He was taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire, showing his special place in God's kingdom. Elijah had a student named Elisha. Elisha performed more recorded miracles than any other prophet. He purified a poisoned well, multiplied a widow's oil to save her from death, and even raised a boy from the dead. Elisha also healed Naaman, the commander of the Syrian army, from leprosy, showcasing God's power to heal and save. After Elisha was gone, during a dangerous time in Israel's history, a new prophet named Isaiah emerged. He had visions of the coming Messiah and spoke of a virgin birth. In one of Isaiah's prophecies, he sees the suffering servant who would be pierced for our mistakes, foretelling Jesus' life and sacrifice. Long after Isaiah's ministry, a new prophet named Daniel served under several Babylonian and Persian kings, interpreting dreams that none could explain. Daniel prayed to God every day, and he refused to stop praying. Because of this, Daniel was thrown into a den filled with hungry lions. But God sent an angel and saved him. Daniel also had visions of future events, including the coming of the Messiah and the end of time. These prophets were powerful, not because of their own strength, but because of their deep faith and obedience to God,